Hey guys, welcome to another video from Merlin Models. This time we are going over some samples for the runner, which is so very late, and we are working our very best to get this thing done as quickly as possible. I am spending almost all of my evenings talking to the factory on this one, but I wanted to show you guys what we've got so far, how everything's going, and basically give you a nice solid update on this model because it is going to be absolutely fantastic. We're just having a couple of last parts that we just need to get adjusted. So first and foremost, you might have known that we did a collaboration with another custom model maker on one of the versions of these. That is not this version. That version was a previous version. This is the most up-to-date version, and it has been modified pretty significantly to make it more accurate. So just so you're aware, this is of a higher accuracy level from what we have gathered just over the past couple of months. So, going along with that, let's start with casting quality. The parts themselves, the detail is pretty astounding. Like if you take this part right here, the grills, all the rivets, like absolutely phenomenal. So this is one of the middle sections, and it's just supposed to go together like this. You have a hollow tube, and then we have a variety of these with numbers on them. And these pieces just slide onto your armature to allow for the round parts to then go over the top of them in a very specific way, if you put it on correctly. And that's going to allow everything to stay nice and rigid. We went with square armature, which is a lot more difficult to design around for the inside of the model, because this thing is rock solid. When everything's nice and tightened up, like it ain't gonna move. Like I'm pressing with about 25 pounds of force and I've barely lifted the head, which allows us to make sure that even if we have to do some adjustments, which we are to some of the engines and making them a little bit less hollow, that extra weight is not going to make this want to tip back and forth. The back is extremely rigid. It's not going anywhere. With some other models, either you've got a big post here and the whole thing's kind of swingy, and then what is that attached to on the inside? It's got to have some sort of metal. Or you've got something attached to the back, which our very first rendition of this 2 years ago had a simple mechanism to attach it to the back, and the whole thing wanted to tilt forward and it kind of sat at an angle. So we really beefed that up. That was a massive upgrade. We didn't charge anybody extra for that, so that is included in the kit, and we're just taking that out of our cut to make sure that you guys have a better model. Everybody said that they wanted this base versus a standard black base, so we're keeping up with the nice custom base. So this will be a pretty special edition version of the model. On the back, you've got your nice little button to turn it on and off. You've still got your daisy chain plugs. And then when you run your wires through here, you've got some little rubber grommets that allow you to run the wire all the way down the base and inside. And then you've got a couple of little spots that you can just plug your two wires in so that everything is controlled from the switch, including the lighting on the model. So this guy turned out fantastic. We are super happy about that. One of the issues that we ran into when you're talking about working with round, empty plastic shells, there's a tendency for the plastic castings to want to pull apart from each other when they cure. So we had a lot of issue with this head not matching itself. You would have to kind of work it into position and force things, and that's not how we do our custom models. We want them to be out of the box, ready to go, with the least amount of effort required for you to try to fix something. So we've been working on this for the last couple of months, and what we've ended up doing is we're going to cast this whole piece as a solid casting, and it'll have an opening for our absolutely beautiful cockpit to just kind of slide in place. And then you've got a top part that goes on the top. The inside casting is absolutely phenomenal. It's just when we deal with roundness, it wants to pull away as it cures. It's very interesting. So this is going to be a solid. It's going to have a hole through the center. We're going to shorten up this armature just a little bit and add a rod that goes all the way through and then sticks out. And then all you got to do is just slide this on to connect it. So it's going to be a lot easier on the real thing. So this was one issue that we were dealing with. With these guys, it's kind of the same thing. We're just working on trying to make them a little bit more rigid so that there's no type of warpage. So when they come together, they don't want to separate from each other and there's no gaps. So we're just working to make sure that there's no gaps. But the actual quality of the castings, again, the detail is beautiful. And right now, you know, very, very light. Your engines, you've got this nice engine block, which acts kind of as the center of everything. And then you've got your side pieces that come off of that. So you've got 2 of those side pieces. All of these came out just fine. Nothing going on with them. We went through a bunch of renditions of this guy. So the castings, super, super sharp, absolutely phenomenal. But the vendor wanted these cut in half so that they could make the entire thing hollow. And then they wanted to reassemble them. And because they're hollow and there's different variations of thickness, when it cures, anything that's thick is going to want to pull away from anything that's thin. So we had these nasty seams that were just really, really hard to make go away. So we're going to end up casting these solid with a plastic tube going all the way through them, which allows you to then use these guys and these guys. And I did not bring an engine back, but that's okay. But basically you've got a nice little diffuser, and that's going to sit over the 5 holes that are your LED lights. That whole thing attaches into the back of the block and slides into this, fits in place. Your wires go all the way through and then they exit out this area. There'll just be a little hole, plastic hole, goes in through here, and then can feed all the way into this central area where you can join them all together and have one feed going through this crossbar and out. Make it super easy. Again, not like takes you 5 minutes, but it's a very simple process. So we're going through, as soon as they get back from Chinese New Year, we are going to recast these guys solid, and then they'll be done. Then they are also going to send us a brand new head to call that part done. And then they are continuing to engineer whatever process they need for the casting to make sure that these come out perfectly round. So that's the last real thing that we don't have a solution for, that we're still working on, but it's going to be solved within the next couple of weeks. All right, back to some really, really good stuff. So one of the things we have is we wanted to give you guys options for your installation. So we know that on the real thing, there was a few escape pods that are missing, but we are including all of them for you so that you can do whatever you want to with them. The back has a little magnet, so you can pop them in and pop them out with magnets, which is really awesome. Then we've got these, I mean, I don't even know how to show you this in person, but like there's little tiny ridges, and there are 3 perfectly made gun barrels at the end of this little gun. And this is one of the side guns that goes on the top and the bottom. So you've got these little guns here, and they mount like this. If I get them in the right spot. Yep. So they mount like that. So you've got those 2 pieces, and then those sit up here. And it's just absolutely gorgeous. I mean, absolutely incredible what they were able to do. Here we go. It's supposed to go up like that at an angle. So we've got both pieces for that. They used a different material to be able to get that absolutely insane detail. I don't even know what that material is. They haven't told me yet. But we've got those pieces. Really phenomenal radar dish with all the components. I mean, Justin did a fantastic job in setting this stuff up. And again, remember, this was our 2nd model ever to make. We chose like one of the hardest models ever. But, you know, that's what we do. So, you know, we're catching this thing up to the technology and the advancements that we've made before. So these little pieces are supposed to go on, I think it goes like this. So of course that, you know, that can't be molded in, so we made them separate so you can put those, glue those on. You've got individual micro machined using a Swiss lathe little metal gun barrels that fit into a perfectly designed little mini gun barrel top. And then that whole thing just slides right on in there. And then there's your big guns for the tops. Oh, it's so gorgeous. I mean, absolutely phenomenal. And then, of course, you know, we've got some brilliant castings for the side caps. These side caps will also be a part of the head. So again, this whole thing was going to be solid piece, so we don't have to worry about any seams. So we're making that easier for you. Here's the top to the radar dish. I mean, again, just beautiful, flawless castings. We've got the plug that goes on the bottom. And then you've got a port with a hole on the side. That's for this side, so it'll go in there. And then you've got a port on the other side, and it has a nice beefy head to it. So that kind of helps lock everything in place because it grabs onto that armature and you can't move it around. Ugh, and it's solid. So that's it. So that's where we're at. We've got a lot of pieces that are perfect. We've got a couple of pieces that we're still working on. We're going to continue to give you guys updates as that goes. But again, this is still available until it's over. And we have so far exceeded the upgrade potential for this thing. I don't even know if we're making any money on it at this point. But we're cramming everything but the kitchen sink into this. And that includes the extra, which is an absolutely amazing escape pod with all of the little tiny pieces. And I'm going to do a specific video on this that we'll release right after to talk about this escape pod, just because it's so cool. You know, we put this together as a gift to make a coin stand that was unique for the coin that goes with this guy. And it turned out so good that we think it's the perfect desk model. So if you want one of these and you're not already a part of the runner pre-order group, I think we're going to make this available to you guys and see if you want one with a nice little pull stand or something like that. So you can go ahead and grab one of these. I think we'll do, you know, one run of them or something like that, just to so you guys can have something that's nice and small that can fit, you know, at your workspace or in your office or, you know, whatever. Because I think the actual one's, you know, pretty massive. We put all the detail into it. I mean, look, the back is phenomenal. So there'll be a video on this coming right up. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for this. Again, if you're not on Discord, we didn't even have Discord when you first did these orders. So if you're not on Discord and you pre-ordered one of these things, please let me know and I will make sure that you are added so you can stay up to date. Also, we have added a update section to the account section of the website. So if you log into your account, there's going to be a status section below, and you can just click on whatever model you want and you can see what's going on. We update that once a month. So if you, again, purchased this without even being part of the account back then let me know. We'll get you an account. We'll make sure that you're signed up and you can stay up to date on the status stuff. Because we like to do the statuses in bulk so that we're not spending as much time answering a lot of messages during the day about the status updates, and we can spend more of that time doing design, which is the most important things to make sure you guys get quality products. But customer service is super, super important to us. So that's why we have the chat system so that you can reach out to us right away. And we update our statuses, as many of our models as change every single Wednesday. So please be there, join. Thank you very much. And I'll check you guys on the next one. Bye.